Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't watched my video on Annis McKinney that I posted, uh, maybe you should watch that one first because I left out three pretty significant stories uh, because they just slipped my mind until I got thinking about it. So I want to tell those in this video. Uh, when I was about 16 and I was doing all this family research, I wanted to go to Ohio and visit Dellar Coyle. And that's one of Grandma Annis's daughters, his granny's sister. And I was the one that wanted to go up there because I wanted to find out who Granny's grandparents were. And I thought that she would know. So we went to Ohio and we seen Aunt Dellar. And she couldn't tell me who Granny Annis's mom and dad were, or Millard Clemens's mom and dad, which I've found out now who they were, but at that point in my research I didn't know. And I was like, how do you not know the names of your grandparents? And she said, well, they just always called them Ma and Pa, you know. So that was shocking and surprising to me. But I talked to another researcher about that, and he told me you'd be surprised how many people don't know the names of their grandparents. Well, if you had any curiosity at all, it looks like you would ask. Well, anyway, she told me a story about Grandpa Millard and Grandma Annis that I forgot to tell. And apparently Aunt Dellar went to the country store. Back then there was a lot of ma and pa stores in the middle of nowhere that made money because there wasn't any Walmart or anything back then. And she went to the store and she saw her dad Millard there, and he was all loved up and kissing on that woman that ran that store. And she told him, said, I'm going to tell Mom. And she ran home and told Annis what she saw, and she already knew about it. She already knew that he was doing that. So that's the only thing she really was able to tell me about Annis and Millard. And after I found that out, I went outside because at that point, Mom and Dad had pretty much taken over the conversation, and my Aunt Dellar was more interested in visiting with them. So I went outside and, to get a breath of fresh air or whatever. And along the side of the house, it was concrete block that, went from the ground up to the house. And ever so often there was a concrete block that was turned on its side, I guess for ventilation. Well, there was a cat going in and out of that block that was turned on its side. And it was just sitting there. I could see the face of it was a cat. And it turned around, and the back end of it had a tail like a rabbit. And the back legs had rabbit legs. It was a half cat, half rabbit. It's called a cabot. And I've looked it up on Google and stuff, and they say that that's a mythological creature. And I wouldn't believe it unless I saw one for myself. And I'm, I don't believe in Bigfoot. I don't believe in aliens at Area 51. I don't believe a lot of this hocus pocus stuff. But if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe there was such a thing as a cabot. But I saw it, and I've talked to other people who say that they exist, and they tell me that it takes a female cat and a male rabbit to make it work. And that's the only one I've ever saw. I've tried to find a picture of one on Google. I can't even find a picture of one. But I saw it, and I went inside, and I told Mom and Dad and Aunt Dellar what I saw. And Aunt Dellar said that was her cabot, that was her pet, that it belonged to her, and that she had it. So I just believe that. But now that I'm 40 years old, I look back on it and say, did I actually see that? And I believe I did. Okay. Well, anyway, so I got the story about the store and the cabot. Now, I gotta get back to Annis. So the last story I forgot was that my cousin Betsy told me that she only met Grandma Annis one time, and that that's when she lived 2 miles from Grassy Springs Church, out in the middle of the woods. Just had a wood burning stove in there somewhere, had an iron skillet, and Bobby lived with her. Well, she I forget why Betsy said she did it. Maybe Bobby wasn't feeling good or something. But she made Bobby a cake in an iron skillet. And it didn't have any icing on it. It was just the cake. I guess she didn't have any icing. But she mixed it up just like you mix up cornbread in a bowl and baked it in that iron skillet. But it wasn't cornbread. It came out a cake. And she gave Bobby a piece of that cake and gave Beth Lee Clemens Parker, my cousin, who has really helped me out on some of these photos and these stories, gave her a piece of that cake, and she said it was really good. It was totally awesome. She did a fantastic job baking that cake in that skillet on that old wood-burning stove, and she said it was really good even without the icing. So I wish I'd have told all that in my previous video, but I'm not perfect. I leave stuff out. But I hope you watch this one and the other one. So I'll catch you later. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time. Bye.